Hey Andy.
Hey.
What do you think about your new Honda?
Dude, I love this thing, man. It's so much fun.
Right on, dude. So if you guys are interested in checking out a video where we go on a little vehicle quest for this thing and get a little Honda key truck for Andy, stick around and enjoy the video. All right, got the trailer loaded up again. Going down to pick up another key truck. This one is an Oregon. Let's go. Taking my brother's truck this time. Pretty rad. Right here you can go to Stereo King once you get your mini truck, get a full sound system in it.
This is the next stop before we even get it registered.
Get two 15s in the back of that thing.
Seems like maybe more noise units should be coming out of it this moment too from driving.
Got some bed damage. I like that there's a, look at that. Mouse is utilizing that location, the tail light, to save some grass seeds in there. Yeah, engine sounds fine. It feels like it's a little loose on the steering. Oh yeah, something's funky up front. That could be the CV though, causing that, like a super stiff joint. Clack, clack, clack is about the same time as a CV, but that you're kind of taking his word on it. Did say you'd throw in a CV joint and knock a few $100 off of it.
Yeah. The motor feels running, man.
Yeah. It looks like it's actually got way more time.
We got plenty of room. We can run it to 80 like
Yeah.
I'm wondering, there was a floor mat in the pictures in the...
Yeah, you should find out about that. Maybe they pulled out to clean it. I can smell a fresh thing of what's that, new bike in a can?
Yeah, that's exactly.
I can see that's all been glossed up with new bike in a can. So well, the brakes sounded growly the first few times I tried it, but I'm not hearing as much.
They actually feel really good.
Yeah, they seem like they're pretty grabby. But I'm kind of thinking they just had a little bit of rust on the rotors because we're not hearing that anymore, which is good. It's probably a CV joint, but you're gonna take the guy's word on that if you do, you know. It seems like it rides fairly decent other than that vibration and that shake from, hopefully it's just a CV joint.
Yeah.
Tires are just trash. She was planning to get some mud terrain, but I'm kind of wondering if part of the wobble's coming from a messed up tire here, like a broken band in the tire. Yeah, it's fully split open right there. Shit tires. Rip boot?
Yep.
By seeing the condition of those tires, dude. New set of tires, which you're already planning to get on here. I think that's where the funky wobble's coming from.
No amount of armor all is going to make those tires.
Yeah, these are shot, man.
Oh, dude, it's so dusty. I bet this thing needs an air filter.
That is insane. Wow.
That's the air filter, so we'll take a look in there.
Oh yeah, we'll pop that off and take a look.
I want to see, that exhaust does smell a little strange. They have catalytic converters too. But...
Oh, that might be what I'm smelling then. Air filter time, check that out.
Yeah, I'm gonna take a look.
Made pretty good power.
Yeah, it did do pretty well. This is broken.
I think that's pretty typical on those things. I think a lot of things were broken on a lot of these trucks. And you know, this door opens and closes, got a few little funkiness right there. It's dented in a little bit. But, you know, I couldn't find any body damage underneath for this bumper to be pushed in, but I think it's been migrated back a little because it bumps on the door here. And there's that farmer style brush up paint. I think this was definitely used in agriculture for sure.
Japanese farm truck.
Yeah.
This is their F-250. For a small farm.
I heard it more compared to F-150s, Andy. Because the Hi-Jet would be the F-250 version. This one is not a dump bed, which is probably fine. It's got a lock-in rear diff though, which is nice. That's what I really wanted. Nice looking seats in here too. A little more modern than my Carry.
This one definitely
Looks like a passenger sun visor was an option in this one. How about those welds for you? Those are hideous. Doesn't even look like it got any penetration there. Those are freaking awful.
Doesn't look terrible under here.
No, it's not in that bad a shape. Tires are better than the Honda. They still need to be replaced at some point. The interior is pretty clean in this one. A little bit of rip going on top of the seat here. Oh, got a bit of rust right up here, a rust hole. It's kind of bad there. That's interesting. It's that. Got a little bit starting over here. A little on the top, a little dent on the roof maybe. All in all,
It's not a bad.
it's not that bad.
That might be a contender.
Got the heaviest rust right along that bottom bed rail, but
Because the frame doesn't look bad.
hell, it's never going to be a collector's item, I don't think. It just get used. And how's the other side? It's weird that one rail just got rusted worse. Oh yeah, this was right. This is a newer model where they moved the radio to the front.
Yeah, it's not a bad looking. No major leaks on the.
I think it said the keys were in here if I want to take this one for a drive. Yeah, try out this Carry. It's definitely got some wear and tear on this floor mat, but that floor mat's also paper thin. High and low range. 4-speed. Diff lock. What the hell is that all about? Oh, there's the keys. It runs better than mine already. That's a plus. Low in here compared to the other one.
I know, it's kind of weird.
Yeah, the Honda felt more roomy.
There's some weird differences in the cabs. That interior's in pretty good shape though.
Also found it works a lot better when you take the parking brake off.
Oh yeah, that's nice. I made that mistake the other day.
Like the beeper.
Yeah.
So it runs funky. It's idling really low right now.
Yeah.
When you get it hard on the throttle when it's like low RPMs, it's got a full-on ignition issue.
Yeah.
Like you can feel it popping and coughing a little bit and stumbling before it gets beyond that. So I think a plug and wire set for sure, maybe a distributor cap.
Yeah.
It doesn't seem like it's beyond that. Now it's idling low, which these are all.
It's probably could have moisture in that distributor cap too.
The tanks I think have been all drained before
Yeah.
we start actually basically get them out of the port.
Yeah.
Check out this little Honda Street Raccoon. Pretty rad with a little mountain scene on there. The graphics are really nice. Got some rust going on here. Little snow tires. Those actually look pretty good. Some body rust. Man. Nice little interior. Actually a ton of room in this little thing. For being such a tiny van, this actually has a lot of room. I don't need it, but I could see getting one of these days. It'd probably be a little while, but this is a cool, it's a little high top version too. Extra height in here. What a neat van. Dual sliders going right through as well. I like that little cargo basket up there. That's neat. They got them packed in here pretty tight, don't they?
Funny, right now we're digging for tires. The tires on the front of the Honda are pretty destroyed, so. Yeah.
You getting 3?
Well, I don't know if I should. Might as well.
Well, did you get it?
All right, yeah, I got it. I got all my paperwork here. Hopefully this works. When we go to the DMV, we're going to try to register it.
So these are not street legal in Oregon, which we're buying it.
Yeah, well, we have to drive into Washington and Vancouver, Washington, try to get it registered. But these tires were so bad on this truck, we got to dig around and find some tires in the back. But while we were digging around, they were dismounting these snow tires off of another truck.
They're
and
in pretty good shape, man.
Yeah, somebody went with an off-road, like an ATV tire. So.
What you got in the box over there?
The CV joint was clunky, so we got a brand new CV joint I get to swap out. I typically always like to replace the whole shaft at the same time because that's a total hassle on most
I do think that most of these CV joints are sold joint style rather than the full shaft.
So deal with that, figure out which one's clattery and then replace it. But he threw that in, that was cool, and knocked it a little bit off the price on it for me to work on it, which is, I'm happy with. A little elbow grease and it should be good to go. There isn't a mini truck on that trailer.
I know, dude. There's so many.
It's like a feeding frenzy of mini trucks.
Well, one guy was being gluttonous.
Yeah, 2 old dudes can't drive 5 mini trucks, man.
Buying 5 mini trucks to take back to Idaho to mark them up and resell them.
They seem disappointed they couldn't get them all.
Yeah, that's gluttonous there. There goes another mini truck going north. Washington. What was that, a Hi-Jet?
Get some seats out?
Yeah. All right. So, you happy with your purchase?
Yeah, it's been working good. Things been running like a top.
Yeah. So you've had it for 4 days now. How many miles have you put on it so far?
Just over 100 miles. We've been taking it to the lake and down to the straits, down to the beach, and it's been great. It's already had kayaks in it. It's awesome. Things working really good.
So as you know, I've been picking with this thing. I probably only have maybe 125 in it, but I've had it for almost a month. I've been dealing with a lot of cooling issues, which I got most of probably over half the water lines sorted out on this thing and got the radiator fixed. So it's coming along, but these tires are a hindrance for this machine. They're too big. The previous owner put them on it, and they look cool. They get good traction off road, but after cruising around with this little thing, it's geared better with stock tires. It rides smoother. It's got better power. Yeah. You got to keep it kind of these tires on here?
They get pretty good traction too. They're just a snow tire. Even just in the standard 4-wheel drive without the rear diff lock on it, it just goes up stuff. It works great. Like I don't have any problems with these smaller tires, and I was surprised. That's what I wanted to wait and see how the gearing was. But it does good on the highway. You can go 55. I've had it up to 60 with these on there, and it's been perfectly fine. So it's good.
All said and done, between riding in mine and riding in yours, you can just really tell these things are refined and built really well. The way they were designed, because all these modifications might look cool on this thing, but it really isn't making it that much better for some applications. If you're going really slow off-road, that's fine, but even going really slow isn't quite the same. Yeah. You got lower stock, low range.
First gear is super low in it, and it's good. It works great. You can just let the clutch out, no throttle at all, and it'll just creep over stuff and just roll smooth. But yours, the extra clearance on yours is pretty nice, but I also haven't really bottomed out with mine very much yet, which is good. I think they just have such a short wheelbase that helps out too. But
pretty neat, yeah, pretty purposely built.
Yeah, I bought this one just thinking, okay, we're gonna have these. We'll run them around. We'll take them to the beach once in a while. We'll do some stuff. But I'm surprised after today driving it. Like, I don't know. I probably drove it 30 miles today, and cruising along, there was a point today when I realized this is way more functional than I thought it was going to be. Like, I thought I could take stuff to the dump, or I could do different, run bicycles around and do stuff like that in the back. But after driving it, the truck's outperforming, and it's doing better than I expected. I didn't expect it to be as useful as it is.
It's pretty awesome because, they're kind of a little more expensive than like a bargain Subaru car or something like that. They're kind of unique. You got to pay for that. There's kind of a rarity still because there's only so many imported. But actually cruising them around and seeing how well they function on 55-mile-an-hour roads down to, just back roads, they do pretty dang well. Versatile. Very versatile.
I was a little at first spending the money like, I don't know. I could buy like a regular Toyota pickup truck, or I could get something else in that range, which is a good, useful thing. But these are so small. Today, the lake gets super crowded, all the roads around there, and it's hard to find parking. And this rolled right in, found a tiny little parking spot to kind of wedge the truck into. Anywhere you have to get jammed up, people were all over, and some of the turnarounds were hard to get through, and this was just so quick to navigate and get through all that stuff. I didn't even really consider any of that. It's almost like having a motorcycle, when you can zip in and weave through spots, they get around really well.
Pretty awesome. So me and my brother both saw these trucks over in Holland when we were, I don't know, I was like 19. You must have been 24.
Pretty young, yeah.
And we saw vans and mini trucks over there. I thought they were the coolest. And so it's been like a good 20 years we've wanted these machines for. So it's kind of cool to finally get them. I've been contemplating buying one of these things for the last 2 years. And once I got mine, we usually have similar vehicles. Like you bought an old Ford F-250 truck and Alaskan camper. I ended up getting a Ford truck and Alaskan camper. We both had Toyota vans. And
scooters. We
both
got into scooters at one point. It's just fun when you've got somebody else to work on the stuff with or to fix them up.
Similar interest in
driving down the road, looking in the rearview mirror and seeing his behind me. It's like, it's funny, you know, it makes me laugh. They're cool. It's just neat to have, to bounce ideas off of each other with these things and stuff, you know. If he hadn't gotten this, I probably would have put off buying one of these for who knows how long, you know, maybe. But that kind of kicked me into high gear to get moving on trying to track one down too. So
speaking of that, this is a little video I put together going down to help Andy get this machine. But Andy's going to have a video that's a little more in depth about looking at quite a few different models. You looked at quite a few different machines before getting this one? Yeah,
I drove the Daihatsu Hi-Jet, which is made by Toyota. I drove another Suzuki Carry, a slightly newer model than Michael's here. What was the other model? I drove a Subaru Sambar, which is an interesting truck. All the mini trucks that I've seen so far are a 3-cylinder 660 motor, and the Subaru is the only one out of all of them that runs a 4-cylinder 660 motor, which is kind of neat. And that motor's all the way to the back. On the Carry, it's front mounted under the cab there, and on the Honda, it's like a mid-engine. And then with the Subaru being all the way at the back, that keeps the weight over your rear axle, which seemed like a cool idea to me. And I did like the Subaru, but the particular one I went and drove was just pretty beat up, so we passed on that one. But it was a cool design.
So you have a video put together for that, right?
Yeah.
And I'll put a link down below to the video for Andy's channel and that. And I think there's going to be a lot of content on this because you're going to be doing a timing belt water pump on here pretty soon, right?
Yeah, I'm going to do some maintenance.
So you'll be doing some following up with that with some videos and stuff.
Yeah, just to get caught up on all the maintenance. So I'll make videos for all that stuff too. And just test driving all the different models was interesting because you'd think, I've had a lot of people say, oh yeah, I saw one of those, or we used to have one at my work. Well, they're all really different. There's so many differences between each one. You'd think that they would have just copied it or come up with a design, but sitting in all the different cabs feel entirely different. Like the way the transfer cases are set up and the different four-wheel drive arrangements, everything is totally different for each one of them, and they all have their pluses and their minuses, so you just have to kind of weigh out which truck is going to work best for you. So,
yeah, exactly.
Well,
that's pretty cool, man. I'm looking forward to seeing more content on your channel with that, and I'm looking forward to us doing some cool trips with these things. I think mine's just nearing the point of being super reliable now, and yours seems to be already reliable. We still got to do that CV joint and all, but pretty good.
It's working good. It's funny. I just think with both of these trucks had probably sat for a while, so just driving them and getting them out on the road, and they're both doing really good. They're pulling. Yours was going pretty fast today, dude. You were pulling up that hill pretty quick.
Well, the bigger tires got to stay in a lower gear and rev it out a little more. But
they're neat. They're a lot of fun.
Pretty excited about getting some trips on these things.
Yeah.
All right, you guys, if you're not subscribed, consider subscribing and give the video a thumbs up, and check out the link down below for Andy's video, test driving all his other mini trucks and his conclusion on why he went for a Honda. All right, until next time, take care. Bye.
Bye.